Hey guys, Coda here, back with another video. Today we're going to talk about course management and how you can really set yourself up to shoot lower, minimize your misses, and hopefully improve your game. Right? That's what this channel is all about. We're here to help you guys improve, giving you every advantage you can, every trick that you have in the bag to set yourself up for success. Okay, before we get started, let's talk a little bit about what course management is. Right? For those of you who don't know, course management is essentially choosing the appropriate shot every time. You don't need to be forcing shots, playing risky shots, or playing anything that could really lead to an additional stroke on the hole. Yes, if you pull it off, maybe you save a stroke, but at the same time, if you don't pull it off, you're probably going to be par, bogey, even worse, right? And we're all about shooting birdies. We want to shoot lower. We want to be more consistent, right? So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do a playthrough on a couple holes just to give you guys my thoughts, my opinions on how I approach it, what I try to do to set myself up for a low score. Because, if you've seen the stream, it's easy to just say I hit darts all day, but that's not always true, right? You need to give yourself an option, be a little more flexible, not always pin hunt, right? Play a little safer, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to jump right in here. We are on the Deer Run. Yes, sir, TPC Deer Run. Beautiful course, absolutely beautiful. And we are looking at a medium, I wouldn't even say long, short to medium length par 4 here. It's a dogleg left, a lot of trouble long, a little bit of trouble short. The ideal play here, really, we're looking for the fairway, right? We could hit driver. If we flush it, great. If we don't flush it, there's a lot of trouble. We'd be in the rough, bunker. So let's take the safe shot here. And that's something you got to remember to tell yourself. What's the safe shot? Well, this looks like the widest part of the fairway. If I fast it, I should be okay. If I slow it, I should be okay. Wind, not too much of an issue today. It appears there's a tree there, so let's just play a baby fade to get around that tree. Oh, we slowed it. Let's see what happens.
We're going to the fairway.
Still in the fairway. Okay.
This is about
Successful shot. With that easy fairway hit, we now left ourselves a full club into the green. If you're struggling with the pitch shot, okay, which I know a lot of people are, it's a very, very punishing shot. If you fast or slow, it is a drastic difference. My tip for you is to leave yourself a little bit more room into the green and take a full club. So let's see. We have about an 8-iron here. Looks about pretty much like an 8-iron. Now, the rough correlation here is that every 3 feet in elevation change is 1 yard in distance. So we'll say this is 6 feet downhill. That would be 2 yards closer to us. So this is actually playing about 159. Now you take the wind into account, 2 miles an hour, maybe it is about 161. Right, so this is actually looking very comfortable for me. A full 8-iron feels like the right club. Now we need to start looking at our misses. What happens if we mishit this ball? Well, there's trouble right. It's a back right pin, and there's a lot of trouble left. So really, the safest play here is going center of the green. Now, do I want to hit this ball, this pin? Of course. Who doesn't? Who wants to hole out from a $150? Right, we all do. Is that realistic? Is that a realistic shot? What happens when you slow this and you now have an up and down splash shot to save par? Or you fast it and you're off the back of the green, right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a 9-iron and we're just going to play a nice center of the green. Again, paying attention to our lie, it's going to come off a little left.
Come on,
boom.
Come on, bounce to the
We've
right.
left ourselves. Now we could have hit an 8-iron again.
That'll do.
You hit an 8-iron.
Careful with this one.
Maybe you run the
This
risk of going off the
is
back
from
if you
way
fast it, but you're probably okay. Remember, we want to limit our mistakes. I have the pin out, sorry. There we go. We want to limit our mistakes. So is this the putt we want to leave ourselves? Not really, but this putt is much better than a shot out of the bunker. Okay, long putts are makeable. They're not easy, but if you take your time, you might be able to make one. Okay, compare a 40-foot putt to a splash bunker shot. I think we would all much rather have the putt at the end of the day. So let's go ahead and try and knock this close here. Really, we just want a 2-putt. If it goes in, great. Beautiful. We left ourselves a 2-putt. How many times have you seen someone wind up in the bunker, fail their splash shot, and not even leave the bunker? Right? We want to avoid those situations. So while we didn't get the birdie, we didn't get bogey, and we're even par running into hole 2. Okay? John just said it's a par 5. Let's take a look here. Not too scary of a par 5. There is a little bit of trouble here. We'll talk about it. Now for you shorter drivers out there, this bunker is definitely in play. If you're one of the longer drivers like me, even if you slow it, you're probably not going to run into that bunker unless you have a headwind. The bunker left is a possible miss if you fast. So maybe again, we're looking at a 3-wood. But again, if you are one of those longer drivers, generally you can land in this area and avoid rolling into that bunker. So let's see what happens here. We hit a perfect. We're going to get lucky there, land in the rough and kick out. If I fast that, it has a less punishing kick,
Second shot
right?
here on the second.
If I fast this shot, this is the tee box back here. If I fast it, it doesn't land on this downslope. It actually sits pretty nicely over here. If I slow it, I'm at least over the bunker. I have a look in. Because again, on a par 5, while you can, if you're a long driver, you can set up a nice shot to get there in 2. But if you're not, maybe we just want to take an easy approach shot into this. Now, in my case, I would pretty much always go for this. Probably something like this. Give myself a little bit of room on the green and then try and let it roll up a little bit. See how close it can get. Again, we're not trying to pin hunt, especially not on a par 5. Now let's assume, you didn't have a long drive. You had to play a short drive or even a 3-wood off the tee, which is okay. The goal would be to give ourselves a full club in. So we'll say you're a little bit farther back. Say you hit a nice 7-iron here. Again, we don't want to go too close or too far, because if we go too far, we fast, water, we slow, bunker. If we stick to the wide part of the fairway, we're going to increase our chance to get a good shot in. Okay. Now, par 5, this is our green in regulation. This is the shot that should be landing on the green to give ourselves a birdie putt. If we miss that birdie putt, that's okay, but then we have our 2 putt for par, no bogeys, moving on. Right? We're limiting our mistakes here. For me personally, I would probably run this pitching wedge up a little bit. It is going to release left. Again, aiming for here. If I'm aiming over here and I fast this, I'm screwed. Right? I have a very tricky bunker shot, then I need to save par. Whereas if I let this run out just a little bit in the center of the green, a slow safe, a fast, I'm possibly safe, right? It's safer than where I would be over here. And let's see what happens here. Speed it up a little bit. Didn't get the release I wanted. Probably could have added more shape to that, right? Could have added more release, which is okay. Again, we have a putt. Now, the more you play, the more you'll be able to kind of cheat towards the stick, the more comfortable you get. But this is like the very basic starting of course management, right? This is like the 101, hey, hit it into the center of the green. Don't go for the pin. The more you practice and the more you improve, the more you're then able to hunt pins, right? But that doesn't happen overnight. That takes time, and it takes a lot of practice. So if you're just starting out, or you're not comfortable yet with maybe the distances or what the wind's going to do or your lie, really try just aiming for the safe shots. That was a terrible putt on my part. Let's see if we could save par here. I don't think we can.
Going towards that hole.
Oh, we did. Okay, nice. So we saved par on a lucky putt there. That was not a good 2-putt. Was kind of talking through all of that. But again, leaving yourself a mistake-free hole, right? We don't want any mistakes. We limit the mistakes. We increase our, we lower our score. This is a very interesting par 3. We'll talk about this a little bit. Again, elevation, a rough translation, 3 feet being 1 yard. Every 3 feet in elevation difference is 1 yard in total distance. So if this is up 30 feet, 36 feet in this case, it would be 12 yards longer. So this is actually playing about 195. Okay, with that in mind, now we know we could probably take a 5-iron at this. The miss being we don't want it short. Pretty safe. I mean, we'll have a chip. Really not too much trouble here on the backside of this. If we slow it, we should be okay. Fast it, we might run off, but it's not too terrible here, right? So again, maybe just a little bit center of the green, and we're just going to hit a nice, easy 5.
Beautiful swing.
And hopefully it sits down. Looks like we got a hold of it pretty well. A little long, but again, we have a putt.
That's gonna do just nice.
And the more you play, the more consistency you develop, the more you can tune that swing and actually hunt that pin, right? But right now we're showing you the safe shots, the easy shots that you should be hitting. If you're not even breaking par, you're probably not hitting these shots, right? If you're over par, if you're really struggling, Slow it down. Think about the course in general. It's probably not an easy course. A lot of courses in this game are very challenging, and they will punish you. Right? You just got to take a second and think about your shot on the tee. Think about your approach shot. Try to involve all of these factors at least a little bit. Right? You don't have to go into super heavy detail about anything, but saying, hey, there's a large tree here. I don't want to be in that rough. I don't want to hit that tree. Maybe I go with a 3-wood. Right? Maybe a 5-wood. This hole's not that long. I could get, a 6-iron into that pin. It's a back pin. I could land it short and run it up. If I hit driver here, yeah, am I okay? Maybe. Yeah, personal preference. If I draw, fast it, I'm okay. If I slow it, I'm okay. I mean, worst case scenario, I actually hit this ball perfect straight into this tree.
Wow.
Which we did.
Powerful
Nice.
Stuff, my friend.
But even sometimes, the tree in the middle of the fairway, it'll go through. You'll get lucky.
Okay,
right?
This is about 160 or
This will
so
be our
to the
last
pin.
approach shot here. This is a good hole to leave it on. So when you have back pins, okay, when you have a pin at the back, 90% of the time, you're going to run into this situation where if you miss at all going after this pin, you're probably going to roll off the green. Okay, a lot of courses, especially in this game, it seems like every course, every green has a crazy, amount of slope towards the edge. So that would essentially mean that our target is probably right in here. Right? We want it to roll a little bit. You can see the green kind of funnels in towards the middle anyway. So if we put this right in the green, a little bit shorter of the hole, instead of going for this, maybe fasting it, going off the green or overhitting it, we're going to find much more success. Right? So this is down 8 feet, shouldn't make too big of a difference here. We'd probably just play a full 9 into this. If again, it's not the biggest green, if you fast it, you're probably over here. If you slow it, you're over here. But this is probably the safest miss. Anything lower, you try and run it up, you run into some issues. An 8-iron, a higher 8-iron draw and fade is possible. But again, you kind of run into some trouble. So we want to play a nice, easy, full club. In this case, would be a 9. We're just going to try and dial this in here.
Ooh, can we get a kick to the left?
Now let's say I went after that with an 8-iron. I fast or slow that, and I'm now off the green. We've had some long putts today. But again, would you rather have a guaranteed 2-putt or a pitch from off the green that you have to read, judge, and then control to even have a 2-putt? Well, I guess in that situation it'd be a 1-putt. But the point still stands, right? Stay up.
Get in there.
Unlucky. Unlucky.
This one's for par.
So let's look at our scorecard here.
All right, moving forward.
All square through 4 holes. How many risks did we take?
Currently sitting at even
We
par.
took 0 risks, right? We actually took 0 risks for those 4 holes. We played them correctly. While we had a couple opportunities to maybe get aggressive, we chose not to. And we could have maybe increased our proximity to the hole a little bit. Decreased. A couple approach shots weren't the closest. But that's something you can fine tune as you get more comfortable. Maybe you play the course next time and you remember hole 3 has that green with the back slope. So I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive, but keeping that in mind, right? The par 5 in 2, while you may be able to get there in 2, where's the trouble at for your miss? Leaving yourself a safe shot where even if you miss, you're not too bad. Because you're always going to miss, right? I miss all the time. It happens. But limiting those misses to not be so detrimental to your round is where you really start to see progress. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment, anything you can do. Come by the Twitch stream. We are there pretty much every day around 2 o'clock Central Time. That's twitch.tv/KodaGoBang. If you have any questions, drop them down below or come by the stream. I'm happy to answer. Again, I want to make these videos to help improve your game, help develop some consistency, and hopefully make some real good studs out there. Okay? Let's have a good night and take care, guys. Thank you.